Okay, everybody, I just woke up from seeing E3 last night. I was up watching the Microsoft press conference, the Ubisoft press conference, EA, and Sony, and I'm going to tell you kind of what I think of it. Now, often I don't really like to repeat what everybody else says, like the obvious price differences and the used game businesses for the two consoles. I'm going to talk about those things as well, but I'm like really disappointed by Microsoft. I know we're all really disappointed by them, but I'm like especially disappointed in Microsoft. And you might know just why. If you saw the last video I made, where I was like completely freaking out about this leak of a Banjo game that I had been waiting 13 years to play, and there was no sign of it. The classic game that Rare was going to make happened to be some other game called Killer Instinct, and that was a major disappointment to me. In fact, those 10 seconds, yeah, it was only 10 seconds. Those 10 seconds when they announced Killer Instinct, that was when my dreams, my hopes and dreams flushed down the toilet in a matter of 10 seconds. This could have been 13 years of redemption. The one game that I had been looking for all these years. 13 years of redemption flushed down the toilet in a matter of 10 seconds. I make that sound very dramatic, but that is disappointing. That the return of the 3D platformer genre was shoved aside. It was never even made. It was shoved aside for this generic fighting game called Killer Instinct that I never even heard of. Now, I'm not going to rant too much. I know there are people who like Killer Instinct, and this is kind of a selfish thing that I'm saying the game that I would like to see didn't show up, but instead some other classic return. But I'm just not a big fan of fighting games. So right there, they missed the point completely. I think Microsoft could have won the whole thing if they had a Banjo game there. But no, it was never even made, and that is extremely disappointing to me. So, let's talk about all the other things they did wrong. Pricing, $100 more than Sony. That's a bad decision right there. Used game sales, they don't allow it. Like, I'm seriously confused what the benefit is from this. Sony, they came up on stage like a few hours later when they had their press conference. They had about the same amount of games. I'm not really sure who had the best lineup of games. But then when it all came down to the cold facts, Sony had it all that Microsoft didn't. Like I said, the Sony PlayStation 4 is going to be $100 cheaper than the Xbox One. And also, the game is not going to require an internet connection. The game doesn't require you to install the games. It doesn't even require any license for you to own the games. So here's a little tweet I got here saying that Sony says no used game restrictions. Activision, Ubisoft, Bethesda, etc. all seem to be down with this. EA is with Microsoft. Sums it up, eh? That was a tweet from Marcus Beer at Annoy Gamer, and that just raises a lot of questions to me. Like, what exactly is the benefit of the idea of blocking used games? Now, personally, I don't think this is a huge deal to me. I don't buy a whole lot of used games, but I do like the idea that I can lend games every once in a while. So I am concerned. We could all run into big problems with this. But I'm like, is it the company, Sony or Microsoft, that makes a lot of money, or is it the publishers that make a lot of money? Why is it that only EA seems to think that this is going to make them more money? Well, everybody else says, yeah, sure, use games, we don't care. To me, it just seems like Sony just hit every point that Microsoft missed. Maybe the Microsoft press conference was a little more entertaining though. I don't know, like the games they showed off, I think Sony focused a little too much on the fact that the graphics on the PlayStation 4 are very realistic, while the Xbox One was more about showing that you could have very big games with a lot of detail and destructible terrain and stuff, or editable terrain. There was this one game called Project Spark that looks really cool. and also showing off Dead Rising with a ton of zombies. It shows off that you can have big games and not just games with nice looking graphics. While Sony had this like old guy with all these wrinkles and this hair and like was really old and he had like all this detail. So I think in that case Microsoft impressed a little more. But Sony actually stated a few of their games like Knack will come out as a launch title, and Infamous Second Son, which I'm really looking forward to, comes as a very early title on the PlayStation 4. Well, Microsoft didn't say any of that. They didn't mention any of it. They didn't mention anything about DRM or any of that either. So I think Sony was much more clear. And that's really the thing. I mean, I'm just kind of repeating what everybody else says. Everybody thinks the PlayStation 4 is better. And really, I gotta jump on the bandwagon and say that too. I've been kind of defending the Xbox One for the past few days just because I thought they were going to make a Banjo game. But no, I was too naive, of course. Microsoft, they wouldn't do that. Of course, so Microsoft, you lost all my trust. I'm sorry, Microsoft. There's no way I'm getting an Xbox One at launch. I'm actually doubting if I'll get any of these consoles at launch. I mean, you know what would be really great would be if, like, I haven't seen the Nintendo conference yet. If Nintendo just showed off a bunch of great games that are coming out this holiday season and for the next entire year, that would have been great. That we can like stay entertained with the Wii U. I mean, 3D Mario game, Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, Wind Waker remake. They have a lot of stuff on the way, and maybe a few surprises. So I think maybe the Wii U can like redeem itself. But we'll see. You know, I just need to really think this through. Think what I need to like just wrap up what I really think of all these conferences. I've been just watching all this stuff, and right now I'm like not very refreshed. So I'm just, you know, in a few days I'll probably like make some proper opinion videos about each conference, at least Sony and Microsoft, and go like through everything like I normally do. Just go through everything and what they've done. And guys, you should really follow me on Twitter at Adrian_Passion, because I'm posting a lot of stuff there that is like behind the scenes that you're not going to get on my YouTube channel. Right there I'm going to post my instant opinions on the Nintendo games, for example. So, I mean, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff if you don't follow me on Twitter. And also I'm like tweeting about the game I'm making and stuff, so yeah, if you want to be a little bit updated on what I'm doing on my reviews and games and my opinions on games, then you should probably follow me on Twitter at Adrian_Passion. I know it's a weird name with the underscore. A lot of people don't even know how to spell the underscore. But you can probably also follow the link in the description. So anyways, in a few days I'll have a video up telling you everything about what I think of these consoles. And I just need to wrap my head around all this. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'd like to hear what you guys think. If you have the exact same opinion as me and as everybody else. I know like there are a few people like my good old friend SteveET7. He has a bit of a different opinion. But I can totally see the appeal in the Microsoft console. I mean, the Kinect sensor looks great. It's going to have a lot of servers, and it has a lot of great blockbuster games. It seems like the Xbox One is like the big quality console, even though it has a lot of annoying things that are going to make it really expensive. But we'll see. I hope you enjoyed.